Yes, right.
Good afternoon, sir. So welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, you are right.
Introduce about Dr. Sachin Maheshwari. He completed his Doctor of Philosophy in 1998 on welding engineering from Mechanical Engineering Department, IIT Delhi. He had his Master of Engineering in the field of Industrial Metallurgy from the Department of Mechanical Metallurgy Engineering, University of Roorkee. He completed his Bachelor of Engineering in Production and Industrial Engineering from MN Regional Engineering College, Allahabad. He had so many working experience in that now he is a professor manufacturing and Manufacturing Process and Automation Engineering Division, Netaji Subhas Institute of Technology, New Delhi from April 2007 to till date. And he had so many administrative responsibilities. Currently, Dean Industrial Research and Development from April 2011 to till date. And Head of the Manufacturing Process and Automation Engineering from February 2009 to till date. Additionally, he had a many membership of so many technical bodies. Some of that Academic Council NSIT, member of BOG NSIT, General Council NSIT, DRC Mechanical Engineering Department DT, Senate SLIT, Board of SOET IGNOU, Appellate Committee AICTE, Standing Compliant Committee AICTE, etc. and etc. He had 2 patents and he published many papers in national and international journals. He had contributed to develop the laboratories like CAD, CAM, CAE, Computer Aided Engineering Lab and Welding Lab. I'm very happy to invite you, sir. Sir, your voice is
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many participants are there? May I know?
200, sir.
Currently in this meeting, there are 4 participants, I think.
No, sir. These are our organizational participants. Actually, they are joining with the normal link.
They are joining with normal link. Okay. Thank you so much for the introduction. However, I must say that you have taken this website data probably from NSIT, which has not been refreshed, and I am at fault for not refreshing the same. I'm no longer Dean Faculty of Technology. I was till recently I was Dean of Faculty of Technology of University of Delhi. But now that term is also over long back. So that way I'm enjoying my stint as professor, and I must take this opportunity to thank you all for providing me an opportunity to interact with you. Can we have some kind of interactive session?
Sure, sir, but we will be there, but our participant won't be able to connect in this interaction
because one way interaction, I think that becomes monotonous at times.
No issues, sir. We will be interacting with you, sir, on behalf of our participants.
Achha, you would be able to interact. The participants are from what kind of background? Because I must know the target audience.
So they are faculty members from the entire country. Actually, it is Atal FDP. So participants are from the entire country, from the renowned institutions. So those who have the affiliation from AICTE.
So and from which branch generally they are there?
They are basically from production, mechanical, all those branches are there. And
are they from the other branches, computer science, electronics, electrical?
No, sir. No, sir. Other similar branches like mechanical engineering.
Other similar branches like mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Okay. And can I present some presentation if I would like to?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Or it should be just extempore and then.
So we are okay with all your presentations, whatever you are having.
Okay. Because Microsoft Team is new, but hopefully I should be able to present window.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I would be able to present. I hope this presentation is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. So what I'll do is I'll be presenting something, but prior to that, I would like to just have a chit chat with.
Sure, sir. Our participants are continuously writing us with the help of the text box, and
okay.
we will be representing them.
Okay, so is bandwidth a problem? Because I am finding little lag as far as my speaking and your speaking is concerned.
Sir, it is perfectly fine at our end, sir. And
okay, so must be there with. My voice is also clear.
Yes, sir. Your voice is crystal clear, sir.
Actually, I eat a lot of chili, so probably it should not be much of a problem, even if there is no mic. I'm just kidding.
So kind of.
Well, I take this opportunity to thank you, and I'll be here till. I'll not be here till 3:30 because 3:30 in my organization one test, and prior to that one brief meeting starts. So let me see, as and when I'll get a call, but it will have to be after 3. That is for sure. Now let us look at the prototyping or rapid prototyping. I think prior to me, Pulak Mohan Pandey has addressed. So he must have addressed the finer nuances of the processes.
Sir, yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. Your PPT might be minimized, sir. So that is why we are not able to see the PPT on the screen.
At present, I am not presenting at all. As and when I would require, I will present.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
So prior to this, I think Professor Pulak Mohan Pandey from academia has addressed you, and he would have told you about the finer nuances of the various processes and the scope of rapid prototyping processes. Is that clear? Was that the theme of presentation of him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what all did he cover?
He covers overview of additive manufacturing. He covered different technologies. He covers the applications, his case studies. Apart from that, we were having an interaction with the laboratory staff as well. So they covered different softwares related to additive manufacturing.
So what is left for me now then? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll be because I had made 3 different presentations, one for the processes, so I'll not be displaying that. One was for the for understanding the differences, that what is prototyping and what prototyping is all about, and what is this hullabaloo about prototyping. Let us look at the prototyping or rapid prototyping. What is rapid in rapid prototyping? Do they know about this?
Yes, sir.
So what is rapid about rapid prototyping? Can any of them write? What is rapid? What is rapid? Why this is called as rapid?
Few replies are there. It is automation into the process, and one is it is the quick actions taken by the process in the prototyping. Sir, there are few similar kind of things.
Actually, it is not so. the processes are agonizingly slow. The Pulak Mohan Pandey sir would have shown some of the videos of the processes, which would have been speed up because of just for the sake of showing. The processes are agonizingly slow, so much so that a small part by 8 by 6 by 5 mm, 8 by 6 by 5 centimeter would take few hours to be manufactured. So when the processes are agonizingly slow, what is rapid about rapid prototyping? If we do not know about the answer, let us understand. First of all, why prototyping is necessary? What is prototyping? Prototyping means we are trying to replicate the model so that we are able to understand it from the various aspects. Various aspects means the aspects could be functional aspects, aspects could be the visual aspects, aspects could be the aesthetical aspects, or some of the engineering interference point of view. We have to make prototypes. If we look at the engineering aspects, how the prototyping is done. Prototyping is done by way of infusing those similar engineering characteristics, be it alpha prototype or beta prototype. How we are able to infuse these similar kind of characteristics into the product? That could be with the help of some of the numbers, some of the engineering numbers. Say civil engineering people want to recreate a dam, or obviously, if they must have conceptualized, say, Tehri hydro project, so they will have to make the prototype. Why they will have to make a prototype? Can anyone elaborate on that? Why we need a project dam kind of a thing to be prototyped?
Sir, there are some replies. They are saying in order to look and appearance for some little testing purpose, and one is for form and fit check.
Yes. So what happens actually? What happens when we have to design a project like such kind of a mega project, wherein the prototypes are to be made? Why these prototypes are to be made? Suppose a enemy country drops a bomb in Tehri Dam. That is sufficient for submerging the several parts of Delhi even. Because within no time the water can reach the Delhi houses as well, and it can create havoc. That is the kind of water storage in that kind of dam. So if suppose somebody drops a bomb there, so what would happen? That the shock waves shall be generated, and if our dam is able to withstand those shock waves, so we'll have to simulate all these results. In order to simulate all these results, what we need to do? We need to have a prototype, because we can't create another dam and then test the same and then recreate the dam. And for that, there are several dimensional numbers, and that is how we would be infusing the engineering characteristics into those dimensionless numbers. I hope this is clear. And with the help of Reynolds number, Froude's number, Prandtl number, we would be infusing those kind of characteristics into the design of the dam and into the design of the prototype. So if we look at the prototyping, we have to take care of all these aspects while we are doing a prototyping. And how these prototyping are done? Prototyping is done with the help of conventional methods, be it with the help of wax, be it with the help of wooden part, and then coupled with the conventional manufacturing processes. So these are the normal prototyping processes, and there are some rapid prototyping processes. For that, you have been given an introduction about it, such as selective stereolithography, selective laser sintering, fused deposition modeling, and so on. So, and now there are other friction-based manufacturing technologies, in which welding engineer also say that we are also prototyping. Because what we are doing, we generally, if we are talking of the rapid prototyping can include additive manufacturing. Rapid prototyping can also include the subtractive manufacturing, the machining also. So what is rapid in rapid prototyping, that we need to understand. So if we talk about rapid, what is rapid? We are from the design to manufacture. If we go, then there is a department called as operation planning and control, which is called as production planning and control, PPC, as we may have encountered this term. So production planning and control department, it has several functions. What are those several functions? Or rather, I would say that strictly if we go by the definition given by Samuel Allen, there are 10 basic functions. And what are those 10 basic functions? These are identifying method, machine, material, method, man, machine, material, routing, estimating, loading, dispatching, scheduling, inspection, evaluation, and expediting. So these are basically 10 different operation planning and control or production planning and control functions. So out of these 10 functions, and they eat away a lot of time as far as the manufacturing process is concerned, because manufacturing process is just not the manufacturing of the prototype. Prior to that, you need to plan, you need to give master schedule to the foreman, and then you need to expedite. You need to identify man, machine, and material, and method as well. So this process plan stage is completely ruled out. And when this stage is completely ruled out, we say that it is rapid. And that is why it is rapid. It is not because of the fast manufacturing methods. Manufacturing methods are agonizingly so. I still repeat that manufacturing methods are not fast. However, this process planning stage is taken care of right from the geometric model. You are directly transferring it to the machine tool. So that is why these rapid prototyping processes are also called as, be it subtractive or be it additive, are also called as direct manufacturing processes. I hope there is no ambiguity as far as understanding of rapid prototyping is concerned.
Yes, sir, it was well understood.
Okay, so now what happens that once the term rapid prototyping has been coined, so I would say that there are subtractive technologies and the additive technologies. We are now majorly confining ourselves to the additive manufacturing technology. Can we find out the reason for the additive manufacturing technology? Why we are so very enthusiastic about the additive manufacturing technologies?
Sir, few are writing that there are few advantages over conventional process.
What are those advantages?
Sir, one is writing complex shapes.
What kind of complex shapes? Yes, it is precisely correct.
And someone is writing less waste of material. Less
waste of material, yes.
Freedom for design.
Freedom from design.
For design.
That means, freedom
for design.
For design. So if we look at the additive manufacturing technology, yes, people have correctly understood that there is less wastage of material, because what we are doing, we are just adding the material layer by layer. And when we are adding the material layer by layer, we would not be adding any layer where material is not required. So basically, as far as the prototyping is concerned, we do not waste material. If you look at the casting processes, runner, riser, all these are to be chopped off and then to be melted again. If we look at the machining processes, we need to remove material. So what happens when we are talking about the or the additive manufacturing technologies? We are not wasting any material. The other advantage of additive manufacturing?
Sir, less transportation.
Other advantage is we wish to make a ball bearing.
Yes, sir.
We wish to make a ball bearing. And then if we wish to make a ball bearing, in one setup, we can make a ball bearing. No
Yes,
need
sir,
to make a race, inner race, outer race, and then balls separately. But since the processes are agonizingly slow, so that is why that inhibits the use of such processes. Also, there is a severe limitation on the part of materials. So now the logical sequence for the development in the for these kind of processes would be that if we are able to have processes in a faster manner, we are able to have the material of our choice, then these processes can well be utilized. I hope all of you would agree to this. So
yes, sir.
Now, if we look at the prototypes, we should understand that what are the prototypes. The one prototype which I informed you was the engineering prototype. The others are also industrial designers prototype. Industrial designers, they produce prototypes of their concepts. Engineering prototype is to test the design. Then there is another category of software developers. They also need to write prototype programs, because if they are not writing prototype programs and then they are not doing the beta testing or alpha testing, then they are not able to have feedback. And if customer feedback is not there, they might miss some of the functional aspect. Windows was Windows because of the Gates. Bill Gates, and this window was successful. Why? Because their alpha prototype and beta prototype. Otherwise, there were so many good functional operating systems. But the alpha prototyping was done with the help of the actual users. So they gave it to the users and then they took feedback. So it is it was a product design of a software, just like a product design of a software. So if we look at the prototypes, so these are the three type of prototypes. One is the industrial designers. They produce prototypes, and these can be usefully classified about two dimensions. The first dimension is the degree to which prototype is physical as opposed to analytical. Physical means it is just very similar to the actual product. So if we are talking about the aspects of the product of interest to the development teams are actually built into artifact for testing and experimentation purposes. So if we cite an example that looks like and feel like the product, then we need to we would be having a proof of concept, and we would not only be having a proof of concept, we would be able to test our idea. So it is the prototyping is extensively used by product design team. And at every aspect of the product design team, I hope we all are aware of the product design aspect. Is this presentation visible?
Sir, right now it is not visible.
Just a minute. Just a minute. I'll present. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if we are looking at the product development process, this is a Asimov's model of product development process. Mr. Asimov gave a model of the product as far as the product design is concerned. If you look at the scenario as far as our country is concerned, why we are so upbeat about the rapid prototyping process? Because we are continuously lacking as far as manufacturing is concerned. And why we are lacking in manufacturing? Because we are not designing the processes, we are not designing the products. And if we are not designing the products, we should inculcate this kind of philosophy so that the interdisciplinary, we would always find that people are talking about the interdisciplinary approach. So we, with the help of interdisciplinary approach, what should we do? Interdisciplinary approach, product design and manufacturing. These three are the key agendas as far as any government is concerned at this moment. If you look at you compare our country with the Norway. They not only make prototypes, they successfully create products at a very faster pace. And that is why the Norway and Denmark, they have been able to successfully change their economy from the milk-based economy to the engineering product-based economy. Why? They invested into these kind of technologies, with including rapid prototyping technologies, right from the inception of stereolithography that happened in the 80s. Correct me if I am wrong. It was probably in 1984 when the stereolithography, with the help of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, several companies, they came into existence, and then subsequently selective laser sintering, fused deposition modeling, and laminated object manufacturing and other processes developed. Now I am told that they can create even the tank with the help of rapid prototyping technologies by simultaneous use of 4 laser guns, and then they create heavy product as well. As far as material is also concerned, material is also not a problem. So if we look at our scenario, the product development process has to be given due importance. And when product development process has to be given due importance, we have to look at the model by which we develop a product. So for that, Mr. Asimov gave a concept which is widely used as a model for product development process. It was earlier it was a 5-phase product development process, from the concept development, system level design to the production ramp up, as has been seen in this slide. Subsequently, planning was also added. Planning was added just to have a safeguard as far as the cost of constituting a planning team is concerned, because prior to concept development, a market survey has to be done, and this market survey is different from the concept development and system level design, so that we are able to reduce the cost of product development process. So here, if we look at the prototyping, at all the planning is considered as phase 0, concept development as phase 1, and production ramp up as 5. In between, system level design phase 2, detailed design phase 3, testing and refinement phase 4, and production ramp up phase 5. So at all the 5 stages, prototyping is done throughout. Because if we wish to develop, then obviously we may like to have a 3D view. System level design, again, we would like to have. And so at every stage of product development process, we need to have a rapid prototyping process. So if concept development process, if alone is taken care of, then concept development as per the standard design process, we need to identify the customer needs based on the mission statement of the organization. Then we need to establish targets and generate concepts. And in all these concept development process, the product the build and test models and prototypes would be there at every stage, and whether it is planning downstream development or whether it is setting final specifications, because we need to know that these specifications are going to serve the purpose or not. For an example, I am giving you, this was the first to be introduced in any laptop. This was the Apple PowerBook Duo trackball. This at a very faster pace could not have been made with the help of any other process than the processes that have been outlined. So if you look at the outreach of this prototyping process, in 1999 or 2000, I was delivering a lecture at Defense Research Development Organization, and not 2000, it was probably 2001 or 2, and Professor Dave of AIIMS, he also was there in that lecture. And then when it was on the biomedical engineering, and I was teaching rapid prototyping at NSIT at that point in time, and I made a statement, and on that statement he interrupted because I was the he interrupted as he was the session chair and I was the chief discussant. I made a statement that now the time is going to come. Please listen to it carefully. Now the time is going to come that when we go to live in a metro, we look for, if we are looking for a better security, better club life, we don't go for the colony kind of environment. We go for the flat kind of an environment. Security is there, club life is there, parks are there, the common places are there, where there are methods of recreation and ways of recreation. And for that, we need to give them some money to our RWAs, Resident Welfare Association of those flats. I said that now time is going to come that then societies are now going to boast that they are having laser system in their society. So what would happen that in Oculus come with this laser system with the help of optical fiber, then what may happen that the oculist may come. Oculist is nothing but an eye surgeon, and then can perform the operation at your place and go. For the eyesight correction, a dentist would come, would perform the dental implant with the help of laser, would be cutting some part, and would be deciding with the help of rapid prototyping machine. What he'll be doing would be creating an implant, maybe a ceramic implant, then would go. And this would be based on probably that would be based on the DICOM data which they are able to retrieve. And DICOM data is nothing but the layer by layer data with a specific regard to the medical imaging. If we do those kind of tests, we are able to create DICOM images which give you information about layers. And then what can happen? Probably a person who is taking care of bones would come, would have a look at your past X-rays, and if any broken bone is there, would create an implant and then go. At the same time, what would happen? The microprocessor of your washing machine would tell that, look, this gear is out of order. Now we are no longer going to have gears in our repository because that adds to the cost. So what you can do is, with the help of 3D printer at your home or at your society, you can print, because the bill of material would be there. And bill of material is there, the drawing information is there. You are going to print the part, and it would no longer be there. Now this model is out of, is not being manufactured anymore. So we are not able to supply you with the parts. It has to be there. Even what is happening that some of the gears of the HP computers are being manufactured in this manner because they are keeping a repository of their geometric model. So with the help of rapid prototyping, the associated processes, they are going to develop like anything. So then the Professor Dave intervened, said then, Professor, are you meaning to say that instead of having a Janam Patri, we would be having a bone scan and face scan so that if God forbid somebody meets with an accident, the face can be recreated and now skin can be recreated. So these are the powers of these kind of additive manufacturing technologies are concerned. Any questions so far? Because it has been a one-way.
Sir, one question we are having from one participant. What is alpha prototype, sir?
Alpha prototype, you infuse some of the functionality in alpha prototype. In beta prototype, you infuse more functionality.
Thank you, sir. There was only one question so far from participant.
Any other question, if I may ask?
Sir, there was only one question so far. Actually, right now we did not open the question window. They are just chatting us. So this was the only question in the chat window.
Anything which they would like them to be elaborated upon? Yeah.
Sir, now they are start writing. So we are waiting for their questions.
So in the meantime, I would have a glass of water. And
right, sir. Right. Sure, sir.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I will.
Yeah. If there are any question, I would be most happy to.
Sir, somebody has asked to discuss a little bit more about production and planning.
Production planning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Production. I'll close this presentation at this moment. I can come back to this, or rather, I'll quickly finish this and then I'll come back to production planning.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. As you wish.
See, as far as the prototypes are concerned, these are the four basic uses. One is learning, means you are answering questions about performance or feasibility, and then proof of concept. Another is communication. So that means you are communicating your design. It could be a virtual prototyping. Virtual prototyping means that you are doing all those analysis, including the engineering analysis, with the help of virtual environment. That means with the help of finite element modeling, you have done, you have created a geometric model with the help of modeler, and then with the help of finite element modeling or finite difference modeling, you are doing the testing. And you are also able to have a very good look at the product itself without making a functional product, without making a prototype. We can have a very good rendering with the help of graphic capabilities which now the computers have. Otherwise, what used to happen that during our time, when we are rendering, it used to take even days, if not hours, as far as creating a three-dimensional product so that it looks like a actual product. Then integration, you can integrate with the help of, if suppose an engine assembly has to be depicted, you can show with the help of prototypes, and then alpha or beta test models can be created. Alpha model, just having a look at it. Beta model, if you are adding some more functionality, say crash test analysis. BMW does that. BMW does not make prototype. They mostly make prototype just for the standardization or benchmarking purposes. Otherwise, all the engineering aspects, they do it with the help of their simulation softwares. Then there are certain milestones. You can test your hardware with the help of prototypes. You can the team schedule can be physical and analytical. Analytical are mathematical prototypes, wherein it's a black hole sort of. You are doing the mathematical analysis, and with the help of that, you are trying to simulate the results. And then physical, obviously, you are making a final product with the help of prototype. Let us not go into this at this moment, but first, I think we should concentrate on what the gentleman asked about the production planning and control. If we are talking about production planning and control, we say now that operation planning and control is a better term. Why that? If somebody may answer.
Sir, it includes a lot of operations within the process, and those operations are more related to.
No, I'm talking about, see, there is a company called as, say, Steel Authority of India Limited, Bhilai plant. No. There is a company, if I talk about your Greater Noida, ST Microelectronics.
Right, sir, it is there.
It is there. Would it be having a production planning and control department or operation planning and control department?
Sir, I'm not aware.
It would be operation planning and control because they are not producing anything. It is a design center.
Right, sir.
Just in front, there is a company called as LG.
Yes, sir, LG is there.
There we would be having a production planning and control because it is an actual factory and some physical product is coming out of it.
Right, sir. Got your point, sir.
However, the processes are same. They would be doing the brainstorming session in the same manner. They would be doing the production ramp up if it has to be done afterwards. They would all be following the same procedures which are there in the SMO's design process. Concept generation, concept testing, that a software is to be designed or even a hardware is to be designed. They do the virtual prototyping. So these operation industry is also a major industry. We can't say that ST is ST's work is of lesser value than that of LG's. Why? Because what is happening? We are not concerned about the physical outcome rather than the tangible output which an organization is giving. I think we should be concerned about that. So production planning and control, which should have been which is the forte of the production planning and control, is just like a nervous system in our body. And production planning and control department is a cardinal point as far as any industry, any manufacturing industry is concerned. But operation planning and control is also no less important. And if we carefully look at the functions of the organizations, what happens? That we need to design operations and production functions in a manner so that the organization is working with a very good amount of productivity, and we have to understand this aspect. And for all these purposes, the prototyping and all these are the tool. Quality function deployment is a tool. Benchmarking is a tool. So we must understand the whole ethos of the manufacturing processes, wherein the product design is an important part, but the need has arisen from operation planning and control department or production planning and control department. That is the nervous system. Why? Because you need to, I say first 4M: method, man, machine, material. Then routing, estimating, loading, dispatching, inspection, and evaluating. So these are the 10 functions of production planning and control department. Now let us look at one by one. Identifying methods. Obviously, when a product is designed, you would be identifying methods that how this can be prepared. There you would not be, but if a product is designed, you would always be needing prototyping. Man, machine, and material, all these three would decide about the manufacturing process and methods that are specified. For that, now what is going to happen, that all those processes which are, say, additive manufacturing based, such as joining processes, now they would be converted into the layered manufacturing processes. And when they would be converted into the layered manufacturing processes, they would be that is nothing but additive manufacturing processes. So all those friction stir joining processes, all those friction stir welding processes, they would also be clubbing themselves, or they would be vying for their place as far as prototyping or the additive manufacturing process is concerned. Those who are working with the additive manufacturing process, they take this as an offense, that they are confining their role only to the prototyping. Whether, because now if you look at the Dunlop rackets for the carbon fiber rackets, these can be manufactured with the help of some of the selective laser sintering process directly. The golf clubs, these can directly be made from the additive manufacturing. So they take it as an offense that why they are being called as rapid prototyping engineer. They would be like to called as experts on layered manufacturing. So if I'm talking about the organizations, these are driven by the productivity. Productivity would ask the organization to revisit their cardinal point, which is production planning and control. And production planning and control can effectively be implemented with the help of some of the tools, for which benchmarking is one, for which because in evaluation everything would be evaluated. The designs are also to be evaluated. If designs are, the three contemporary designs are to be evaluated, then you have to have some kind of sieve or chalni, so that you are able to strain, able to take only the relevant portion out. So method, man, machine, material, and then you need to design the production sequence, that is routing, estimating, loading, dispatching, inspection, evaluation. Now, any question on that? I hope I have been able.
One question is, who and what factors will decide the final product or production process?
Production process, suppose. See, there are several aspects. If I am to say a crane hook is to be decided, or a fan hook, normally you would have a look at the fan. And then which manufacturing process it should be there? Let me ask you.
It would be, sir, most preferably it would be go with some extrusion process and then bending.
It would be a forming process, है ना?
Yes.
It would be a forming process. Why not
Right.
casting? Casting से तो ढेर सारे बना सकते हैं.
Casting is brittle, sir. That is why we cannot.
कास्टिंग में हमेशा ब्रिटल नहीं रहेगा. आप कुछ को मेल्ट करके किसी में डालना है, दैट इज कास्टिंग. गोल्ड की भी कास्टिंग कर सकते हैं.
यस सर.
क्या गोल्ड ब्रिटल हो जाएगा?
बट सर द कॉस्ट इज आल्सो द कंसर्न.
नहीं, हाँ, तो यू कैन कंट्रोल द पैरामीटर्स, है ना?
यस सर.
In casting, what is there? If you look at the process, there is a dendritic grain growth. There is a dendritic tree-like grain growth. What you require, you don't require a crack to propagate to the surface. And in casting, what will happen? That since there are no combined flow lines, because the envelope of grain is what is called as flow lines. So if a crack is developed in between, then it will have to move across the flow lines. So if the grain boundaries are inhibiting its movement, so that should be the process. So what I mean to say, that the engineering requirement would always decide that what is going to be the process. And for that, you can modify the process. Say now the bumpers are designed with the help of plastics. Almost all the cars. Earlier, what we used to say, अरे XUV 500 में bumper और ये सब चीज plastic की है fender.
Yes, sir.
But that is widely accepted by the other companies because of the design advantage which we enjoy. And now the time is going to come that you are going to have a metallic jackets. जो अपने सर्दी में जैकेट पहनते हैं ना, वो मेटालिक जैकेट होगी, मटेरियल मेटल की होगी.
Okay, sir.
Why? Because the metallic jackets are so very light when it is made with the help of metallic foam. And when it is done with the help of metallic foam, you need to do the prototyping. You need to do the prototyping that a layer by layer structure is to be created. In between, there has to be some air, which is not possible with the help of other processes. But it is, which is not possible, I would, is a harsh statement, which is very difficult to make with the help of other processes. Because you have to create a जैसे साबुन का झाग होता है, the metallic foam has to be created in the same fashion in which the soap bubbles are there. So if you are able to create that, then the things shall be what, that if somebody hits you, won't be able to hit you as far as the car is concerned. The person would get would be rebounded and nothing would happen to your car. It would have offer that kind of resistance. The jackets would be bulletproof without much of an effort. So now is the time that when we should invest in such certain type of additive technologies, wherein we are able to create these kind of structures. We are able to create even some of the structures, some of the composite material even with the help of additive manufacturing, and we are successfully able to create complex shapes directly with the help of geometric model. And for that, you need to have certain capabilities as far as geometric modeling is concerned. So those who are trying to venture into, see, the purpose of this FDP, faculty development program, is not to stuff you with the great amount of knowledge. That I cannot do. I am not in possession of those kind of abilities that within 1 hour or 1.5 hours I can give you a greater depth as far as subject is concerned. But I should be able to introduce you to some of the subjects so that depending upon your interest, you can take up the same and talk to the relevant experts as far as the technologies are concerned. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That was nice reply from you, sir.
Any question?
No, sir. This was the last question which was found in the chat box, sir.
Acha. Actually, some people are there who are sitting in front of me for the meeting. But I would like to summarize this. That
Sure, sir.
product
Sure.
development always require the building and testing of prototypes. I am talking in front just from the point of view of product development. So a prototype is nothing but it is an approximation of the product on one or more dimensions of interest. Hanna? Then prototypes can be usually classified along two dimensions. One is that they are physical as opposed to analytical, and the degree to which they are comprehensive as opposed to be focused. So that means we can be classifying the prototypes on the basis of their physical and analytical attributes. And prototypes are also used for learning, communication, integration, and so on. While all prototypes can be used for all these purposes, physical prototypes are usually best for communication, and comprehensive prototypes are best for integration and milestones. If you look at the prototype, you have to look at the nature also. Why? Because if you look at the femur bone of a frog, a femur bone of a elephant, and femur bone of a man, you will find the hell lot of similarity as far as femur bone is concerned. And if you look at the design aspect, you would also find hell lot of similarity, because L by D ratio, if you are going to calculate, must be the same. So probably Almighty God or Almighty Allah or Almighty Jesus, whatever you may call, is the best designer as far as engineering aspect is concerned, and we have to look for the aspects of prototyping with a specific regard to taking inspiration from nature. And several principles are useful for guiding decisions about prototypes. These are analytical prototypes are generally more flexible than physical prototypes. Physical prototypes are required to detect unanticipated phenomena. So that is why we use that. ये अच्छा नहीं लगता, ये यहाँ चुभता है, अगर मोबाइल फोन का प्रोटोटाइप ले रहे हैं. A prototype may reduce the risk of costly iterations as far as the design aspect is concerned, can expedite the development process, and may restructure the task dependencies. So CAD modeling and prototyping, they go hand in hand. So we need to know the finer nuances of CAD modeling as well, because we should be able to assign the material properties so that if we are able to do the prototyping. And four-step method, which has been defined by the Professor Katie Ulrich, is that we should first be able to define the purpose of prototype. Then we should be able to establish the level of approximation of the prototype. Then we should be able to outline the experimental plan. And then we should be able to create a schedule for procurement, construction, and testing. So if we are able to do that efficiently, I would say, then probably nothing would stop us for designing in India and for making in India. With these words, I call it a day. Thank you very much for patiently listening. If you have any question, please ask. Otherwise, I would call it a day. The next 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I would be most happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time spending with us. We got a fruitful session today. Once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for patiently listening. I'm calling it a day. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For your valuable time, sir.
And thank you for kind intervention in between. I am grateful. Thank you. Bye-bye.